Good morning everyone. In yesterday's class we finished about our first part in your second chapter, which is entirely related to the controller modes. So which techniques we are going to use in our controller in order to generate a particular output or in order to eliminate the error, how the modes are activated there, that we learned in this first part of your second chapter. So I'll review those topics, which is controller modes, basically divided into two categories. First one is a discontinuous controller modes and continuous controller modes. Discontinuous, again, that is divided into according to the operation that will produces a two position, multi-position or floating type control systems. In the continuous controller modes here, based upon the operation or based upon the mathematical expression whatever we are performing, those are divided into individual as well as composite. So in the individual, that may be proportional to the error, that is proportional controller mode. Either that may be integral controller mode or derivative controller mode. Any minimum of two controller modes we are going to add in the which is composite controller modes. First one is a proportional integral, proportional derivative, as well as a proportional integral plus derivative. So we finished all those things here. Finished, that is which type of action we are going to take, that we got a clear idea. But what happens, which type of controller we need to use and which type of input we need to apply to that particular controller, according to the input, those are divided into. And if you are applying some voltage or any current signal, any voltage, that is electrostatic signal when you are applying, that is another one category. When you are applying some fluid type input, then that is another category. When you apply the pressure type of signals, that is another type category of controllers. So according to the input applied to that particular controller, those are divided into three categories. First one is electronic controllers. Here we are going to apply the excitation voltage to that particular controller. Which is the second one is a hydraulic controllers. In this we are going to apply fluids, nothing but the lubricants, whatever the oil or whatever the petrol, whatever it may be, that high viscosity one, so that we are going to apply to the hydraulic controllers. So here fluid as an input for the controllers, that called as a hydraulic controllers. So lastly, here we are going to use air pressure as an input for that particular controller. So pressure, that is pneumatic signal we are going to apply. So whenever you pneumatic signal you are going to apply to the input, those are divided into that category is called as a pneumatic controllers. Okay. So same way in the whatever the controller modes we learned in the different in the first part of your second chapter, that all are comes under in this particular controllers. So first we'll discuss about the electronic controllers. Here also in electronic controllers we can use for the two position control system or multi position control system or proportional integral derivative control systems, as well as composite, again proportional integral, proportional derivative, as well as proportional integral plus derivative. So in this session I am going to explain the different types of electronic controllers we are going to use and how the controller mode will act on the particular electronic controllers. Next we will discuss about the pneumatic controllers, what is the basic phenomena of pneumatic controller we will see in this class, in this session. So first one, electronic controllers. Here we are going for the two position control system. This is a first electronic controller which will have two positions. So two positions is nothing but here that will produces only two outputs, either high or low. So electronic device, we need to use electronic device as a circuit. So electronic device nothing but here for any electronic controller we are going to use op amps, operational amplifiers, along with the passive elements. Along with the passive elements we are going to use. So if we want to perform the integral action or derivative action, we are going to include the passive element, that is capacitance. Or before that one, if you are not performing any integral action, capacitive action, just we are going to use the resistive component for the operational amplifier. So you already know the basic operation of a comparator by using operational amplifier. So what is mean by comparator? That comparator which will compare two inputs. Okay, so two inputs. I'll give a brief idea about the op amp. So that op amp is consist of two terminals, that non-inverting terminal and inverting terminal. Those are acts like inputs. That non-inverting terminal which indicates with the plus sign. Here I am showing in the operational amplifier. This is plus sign indicate the non-inverting amplifier, non-inverting terminal, and negative sign indicate the inverting terminal. Okay, so here this is negative, this is inverting, and here this is positive, which is a non-inverting terminal. and we are having one output terminal here. Okay, so this negative terminal that we are going to use a negative terminal is connected to the input, and positive terminal we are going to connect it to the ground. Okay, so positive terminal all are connected to ground, you observe. So what is meant by comparator here? So comparator is nothing but whenever you take only one op amp, so for that particular op amp you are going to connect what? Two inputs. For non-inverting input you apply one input, and for inverting input you are apply another input. That op amp will compare these two inputs. If these two inputs are equal, then that will produces that high voltage. If these two inputs are different, then that will produces low output. So this is about comparator. So here the two position control system that need to produce either high voltage or low voltage. So for that one here you see this is a summing amplifier. So the summing amplifier which will add our output voltage, that V out is connected feedback, that is connected to the input by using feedback path. So and here I am going to apply the input voltage. So these two inputs are summing, and that will give as a output, and here that will give. So the what value that will give? Actually, what is the inverting amplifier that can do? That V naught is equals to what is the output, that which is, let us take this is a R, L, and this is RF, and this is R in. Okay, so what is the output of the inverting amplifier, or what inverting that minus RF by Rin. So minus RF by Rin into input voltage. So here we are going to get the negative voltage, right? So that negative voltage we are going to connect it to the op amp circuit, which is an inverting amplifier. So that inverting amplifier which will generate the positive signal here. That is whatever the input into the feedback value. So that RF by R1 into V input that will generate here. So this will compare with our input voltage, another input voltage. If these two inputs are equal, then that value will be generated as high voltage, that is V naught. If two inputs are different, that will produce as zero voltage. So like this we can connect, we can take the two position control system in electronic controllers. So any controller, any electronic controller that will have the op amp construction. So depending upon the operation performed, we are going to include either inverting amplifier, then summing amplifier, or else comparator, or else any differentiator, integrator according to the operation whatever you perform. Okay, so here you are performing the two position control system. So here I used comparator. So before directly apply to the comparator, just I am connecting to the summing amplifier, whatever the output is generated, that is and input voltage is added here. That value will be inverted in the inverting amplifier, that will be compared with our set point value. If these two are different, then that will produce as high. If these two inputs are equal, that will produce as another value. So this is about two position control system. In the same way, floating type. So floating type, you remember you recall the equation of a floating type controller, which is having the rate of change of output that can produce as a constant. Okay, or else the constant output that will produce some rate of change of output. Okay, just vice versa. When you have a constant voltage, according to the constant voltage, that will produces some linear action. So that is a floating type controller. In op amp, which circuit will produce a linear action, or else which produces some ramp way output, that is integrator. So that integrator is nothing but our input is connected to, that inverting terminal is connected to the input by the resistor, but feedback element we should include a capacitor. If a op amp is having a feedback element as a capacitor, input element as a resistor, and that is connected to input, that entire circuit acts like an integrator. Okay, so you already came across with how that will be work as an integrator. You can use a virtual ground concept here. This non-inverting terminal is connected to 0. So here inverting terminal, this point is also maintained some 0 volts. So you can apply nodal analysis here. 0 minus V in by R, some 0 minus some V naught. Whatever the voltage in the capacitor, that is 1 by, what is the voltage? That is, we are going to write current equation, right? So current, that is C into dV by dt. So C into V 0 minus V naught by dt. So the integration derivation will become integration here. So this is a floating type controller. Here we are going to apply a constant voltage. So in this constant voltage, so constant voltage here we are applying. So for that constant voltage, here integrate, that will perform the integration operation, and that will give the, which is a rate of change output that will produces. So this is about floating type controller. So we finished our electronic controller, which is a discontinuous controller action, which is 2 position as well as a multi-position. Next to floating type controller. Next we will go for the continuous controlling actions, that is proportional mode controller. So you already know the proportional controller mode, which will, what is the equation for the proportional controller mode? P is equals to Kp Ep plus P naught, where P naught is a offset error, right? Kp, which is a, that is whatever the proportional constant, Ep is a error. So here error we are going to take it as VE, that voltage, error voltage we are going to take. What about V naught? That P naught is an offset error. So here V naught we are going to apply, that is offset voltage we are going to apply. So what we are performing? Kp Ep plus P naught, nothing but our error voltage as well as offset voltage we are going to add. Okay, so we are going to add those two. So here that adding nothing but we are going to give it to the summing amplifier. So this is a summing amplifier. Here non-inverting terminal is connected to 0. So non-inverting terminal is connected to 0 here. Inverting terminal, like the equation in a proportional controller mode, Kp Ep plus P naught, where Ep we are going to count as a VE, and here V naught, that P naught we are going to take it as V naught. So those two are connected to the inverting terminal or added together, which will generate the equation as that VE Kp plus V naught. So but this is an inverting terminal which will generate the negative voltage. So negative voltage should be converted into positive. So that should be given to the inverting amplifier. So inverting amplifier nothing but that non-inverting terminal is connected to 0. Inverting terminal is connected to the feedback resistor here. So that will generate a positive output, that is V out. So this is about your proportional controller mode. So proportional controller mode, here we are going to take only two, that is a summing amplifier as well as an integrator as well as an inverting amplifier. So summing amplifier, we are going to give the error signal as well as an offset signal. Those two are connected to the summing amplifier. Together that will generate the output. That output we are going to complement by the inverter. That we are going to generate as an output. So this is about proportional controller mode. Next we will go for the integral controller mode. So the name itself, what is meant by integral controller mode? Which will generate the integration of a particular input. So whatever input we are going to apply here, that value is Ki integration of Ep dt plus P of 0, where Ki is an integral constant. Next, whatever Ep is a nothing but error. So that error we are going to connect as a error voltage. So that error voltage we are going to give to the inverter, that is integrator circuit. Integrator circuit you already learned in the LICA subject. Input inverting terminal is connected to a resistor, and output to the input we are going to connect a feedback element, that is a capacitor. So capacitor as well as a resistor we are going to use. Capacitor as a feedback element, resistor as a input. So if we construct it like this, this is acts like an integrator part. So this integrator which will generate the integration output, that is negative output that will generate. So here that will be complemented by using a inverter. So which is very simple. One integral circuit, that is one integrator circuit, and one inverter circuit that we are going to add together, that will generate the integral mode of controller. So now you tell me, what about the derivative mode controller? You already came across with the derivative controller, which is the opposite of an integral mode controller. While here in the integral controller mode, we connected capacitor at the output side. In the integral controller mode, we should connect the capacitor at the input side, resistor should be at output side. And here we have input resistor also. That non-inverting terminal is connected to the input and non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground. So same simple circuit, I will show that one, which is a derivative mode controller. So this is which is a differentiator. Capacitor at the input side. Here you can observe that capacitor at the input side, and we are having an input resistor here that is connected to the input voltage, and here this is a resistor that we are taking as a feedback element. So in the previous case, capacitor is connected as a feedback element. So this is actually like an integral mode. So here we are going to capacitor as an input. So resistor as a feedback element. So this is acts like a derivative mode. Okay, derivative, that is called as a differentiator, and that is connected to the inverter circuit. Inverter, nothing but the differential output, the differentiator output that produces some which is connected to the inverting terminal node, that will produces a negative voltage, so that will be converted into positive by connecting an inverter. Okay, so next one, these are the individual controller modes, which is proportional mode. Proportional mode input is connected to two, one is V0, another one is VE. So integral, that capacitor is connected here at the output side, and derivative, that capacitor is connected at the input side, that output resistor is connected. Next one, we are going for the composite mode. So what is meant by composite mode? So composite mode, we are having another types, that is proportional integral type, proportional derivative type, proportional integral derivative type. So proportional integral type. So here in proportional integral type, our offset error will be eliminated. So no need to connect V not here, V not as an input. Just here we are going to connect VE, you observe. So in the proportional mode we have two inputs, but here we are having only one input, that is VE. So VE. Integral, nothing but capacitor at the output side. So here capacitor is connected at the output side, and same thing, that inverting amplifier, and that will generate as a Vout, which is integral circuit as well as an inverter, which is having a resistor extra. This resistor which will indicate the proportional action too. So proportional action plus integral action, those two are given to the op-amp circuit, that will generate some PI operation mode, and then that is given to what? Inverter. That is given to inverter, that will produce the Vout. So this is about PI mode of control. Next one, PD mode. So PD mode, nothing but the proportional action should be performed as well as derivative action is also performed. But in the proportional derivative mode, that offset will be eliminated? No, offset also present in this derivative, that is proportional derivative mode. Offset, whatever the error in the proportional mode, that will be not eliminated here, offset is present. So here first you observe first op-amp connection, which is a PD mode. So PD mode is nothing but at the feedback element you should have a resistor. Whatever the derivative element, that input side, that should have a capacitor. So input side, that should have a capacitor here, that is connected to the input VE, and here resistor, this will show our proportional action. So that is connected to what? That is connected to an amplifier, that will produces an output. So this output should be complemented, so that is connected to the inverter here. But here in PD mode, offset will not be eliminated. So offset in we are not eliminating means that we should add. So that V naught we are going to add to the inverting terminal of the inverter circuit. So that will generate the output. So whatever the derivative proportional action plus one inverter circuit, that will show the PD mode of controller. So this is PID. You can observe here. First one, proportional. Here we have three circuits. Here we are using one summing amplifier like this. So that's very simple, which is connected to the resistor, that input we are going to connect to the 3. For that one, here we are using one op-amp. So from here we are going to get minus VE or minus VE. So this minus VE is connected to the proportional. This op-amp, first op-amp, which indicate the proportional action here. And here second circuit, you observe second op-amp circuit, that will produces a capacitor. So that will have a capacitor at the output side, nothing but that will produces what? That is integral action. And next one here, input side we have capacitor, so that will produce a derivative action. So this is a PID mode, proportional action, integral action and derivative action. Together that will perform one output. That output will be complemented and that will generate as a output. So this is PID mode of controller. I think you are all clear with the electronic controllers. So these are the electronic controllers. First, initially, two position control system, which is having a summing amplifier, and next one integrator, that is inverter as well as comparator. Just here comparator, which will perform the comparing operation of the two inputs. If two inputs are same, that will produces high output. If two inputs are different, that will produce low input. So that two positions will be produced by the comparator. So here summing amplifier, inverter, and next one is a comparator. So for every electronic controller, Inverter is common. Why? Because here we are using an inverting amplifiers. All are generating the negative voltage, right? So negative voltage should be converted into positive. So for that output voltage, we are going to give to the inverter part. Okay. So according to the operation perform, if a proportional operation perform, then we are going to give to the summing amplifier. If integral action, that capacitor we are going to connect at the output side. If a derivative action, that we are going to connect capacitor at the input side. So these are the different types of electronic controllers. I think you are all clear. So next we'll go for which is a pneumatic controllers. So for this one I am sharing a whiteboard. So pneumatic controllers, in order to explain the pneumatic controllers, first whatever the principle we are going to use in the pneumatic controller, that is called as a flapper nozzle mechanism, that I'll explain by the whiteboard. So in next class we'll see the pneumatic as well as hydraulic controllers in detail. Okay. So here pneumatic controllers, which is nothing but we are using the principle of flapper nozzle mechanism. So flapper nozzle mechanism. What is mean by flapper? Flapper nozzle mechanism. Nozzle means we have a hole. Flapper means which is like a stick. So flapper or flopper nozzle mechanism, which is very important. This is also comes under pneumatic to electrical converter. That is, we can use this same principle in pressure to current converter or current to pressure converter. So in this one we are going to use pneumatic, that is which is flopper nozzle mechanism. This current to pressure converter is also called as electrical to pneumatic converter, where E stands for electrical and P stands for pneumatic. And here I stands for current. Whenever if you talk like current, then P should be take it as pressure. These are the parameters, these are the systems. So electrical system into pneumatic system, current signal into pressure signal. Okay, so flapper nozzle mechanism. Here in the flapper nozzle mechanism we have a different construction, which is like a flapper is there. So let us take this is a flapper. So this is a flapper. Here one end of the flapper will fixed, and next here from here I am going to apply the input Pi as a input. So from here I am going to get the output, that is P naught. So from here I am going to get the output P naught. So this is called as this gap between flapper as well as a nozzle, flapper, and this part, this is called as a nozzle, and here this is called as a flapper. Okay, so this is called as pivot, which is fixed at one end, and here these are called as a restrictions in order to increase the pressure of that particular air. In order to increase the pressure, we are going to place the restrictions. So if here we are going to apply pressure mark, so pressure we are going to apply pressure that may goes in this way or in this direction, right? So first that will choose this direction. If there is a gap, if there is a more gap is there, so that whatever applied pressure is goes like this, in this way, that will out from this small gap. Then what you get at the output side? Output side you are going to get at minimum output you are going to get. Minimum output you are going to get. Okay, whenever if gap is more, then minimum output you are going to get. If gap there is no gap. So if there is no gap, that air will goes like this, but there is no path to move that air. So entire pressure, entire air will come in the output terminal. So we are getting the maximum output. Okay, so whenever you move the flapper, so flapper, if this is in this direction, flapper is upward direction, then total whatever the input you are going to apply, that will drain out from this part. Okay, that minimum output you are going to get at this terminal. So whenever flapper is totally close the nozzle, so flapper is totally close the nozzle, at the time that output, that input, there is no way to go like this. So the total input we are going to get at the output terminal. So there we are going to get the maximum output. So maximum output we will get. Okay, so this is about flapper nozzle mechanism. Here we are going to take the pressure signal. So pressure signal in pounds per square inch. Okay, so pounds per square inch. That input we are going to apply some 4 to 30 psi we are going to apply, or some 0 to 30 psi we are going to apply here. The output we are going to get, that is 3 to 15 psi we are going to get as a output. 3 to 15 psi. So what is meant by psi? Psi is called as pounds per square inch. Pounds per square inch. So this is about flapper nozzle mechanism. By using this mechanism, how we are going to connect to the different types of controller modes. Different types of controller modes means discontinuous, continuous, how the actions will be performed by using a flapper nozzle mechanism, that we'll see in the next class. Okay, thank you.